What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 169th edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, a.k.a. the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
A.k.a. the Lil Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J train.
Perfect.
Let's welcome my co-host, Cousin BigThad, a.k.a. the gatekeeper of the DMV.
Perfect.
A.k.a. the unofficial mayor of Prince George's County.
Perfect.
What's going on with you, my man?
What up, cuzzo? I'm good, man. I'm a little, I'm kind of waking up right now. You know what I'm saying? I took a nap.
Hey, man, nothing is wrong.
Took a little nap in my office chair. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even in my bed. Like, I was watching. What was I watching, yo? Oh, I was watching Rebels, Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, never saw it.
Of course you didn't, because you're not a Star Wars guy. So.
No, it's not that I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
I mean, I already told you. I saw episode 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Never saw the third one.
I did not see the third, though.
Because I didn't go to the movies to go see that one. Remember when episode 4 through 6 came out in the movies?
Yeah.
In the 90s, that's when I went to see it, because I was 8 years old. So I went to the movies to see all three of those. And then I saw episode 1, 2 in the movies also. Never saw 3 because I just didn't go to the movies to go see it when it was out.
Well, first of all, 4 through 6 happened in the 70s, bro.
Yeah, I know, but remember they brought it back.
Oh, yeah, that's
remember
right.
they did that whole thing where they just brought it back and put it in the theaters.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
so
right,
like my dad took me to go see all 3.
Oh, okay. So you went and saw the Jar Jar Binks ones.
And then I saw episode 1 and 2. But didn't go see 3. Like, I kind of know what happens, but I just never actually saw it.
Right. No, I feel you. Because,
just like Lord of the Rings. I saw 1 and 2 in the theater. I didn't have a chance to go see 3. And then...
Dang.
I assume the ring is at Mordor. I assume? Question mark?
Yeah, but no. So my man, right? So, I'm heavily into, the whole, Marvel, MCU, Star Wars, the whole Star Wars franchise, everything, so even the cartoons. So Rebels is one of the cartoons.
Okay.
And it's like with Clone Wars and all that stuff. So they came out with this one called Bad Bunch, which kind of plays off of Clone Wars. And I haven't seen it yet. Like I've been planning. It's in my list to look at, right? Mm-hmm. But my man hit me up. He's like, yo, you watch Bad Bunch yet? I was like, nah, I ain't watched any of that yet. He was like, well, don't go watch that yet. Go see Rebels because you ain't probably seen Rebels yet. And I was like, all right. So I started watching Rebels. And I was watching after I got off work today and got something to eat, got some food in my stomach. That was curtains, bruh. Curtains. I made sure I set my alarm this time so I could be on time this time because we know how last time went.
Oh man, I was telling someone about that. I was like, so this is why I was telling someone this. And actually it's a great shout out to the Good Rookies podcast. I was on their podcast last night. It will be released next week, so I'll update you all when that comes out. But make sure you go check them out. They're on YouTube also, Good Rookies podcast. I was on there with
the podcast for sure.
Yeah. And they introduced me just as they introduced me as the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect. Wow, so, yeah. You got them to say that too?
Yeah, but they also asked questions. How are you fourth?
Yeah, which is still very questionable by far me.
And the first thing that was, ain't Karate James a medalist?
Boom. See? Every time. Boom.
But make sure you go check out the Good Rookies podcast. But the reason why I brought up you falling asleep was I was telling them how in the beginning when I was podcasting, I was like, one of my biggest fears was doing it by myself if I ever had to. And I would say, man, I might just have a 10-minute speech and then that's it, because I ain't got nothing else to talk about by myself. And then I told him how you fell asleep and like I was 30 minutes in and I'm still on the first topic by myself. So I was like, yeah. So that's why that came up. That
I got you. Oh, man. Oh, you wouldn't believe who I heard from this week.
Who?
Our uncle.
Oh, which one?
Lyle. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, he called and I couldn't answer because I was in the middle of a conference call. Mm-hmm. And I saw it. I'm like, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? I was like, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? What? Uncle Lyle don't call me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I called him back, didn't answer. I was like, yeah, come on. So he called me back and I was like, yo. He's like, I was calling to check up on you because everybody's asking about you. I ain't heard from you. I was like, oh, my bad. I've gone back to that guy again where nobody knows anything of.
I mean, I've been, I mean, Uncle, I always hit him up every like once in a while, but I've been talking to him more with the building of the house. Right. And like, hey, should I do this? Hey, should I do that? Like, hey, I need your advice on this. Let me.
Oh, definitely. Especially when it comes to the house stuff. That's the man to talk to right there. Anything HVAC or plumbing, you know what I'm saying, and whatever else you could probably think of. He got a contact for the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? To talk
always,
to, so.
Always someone. We never had to. I mean, when we had issues in the house, we never had to actually call like actual plumbers and actual like, electricians and actual HVAC people. So shout out to the uncle for that. Man. Yes. We got a lot.
Everything been good with you though?
Yeah, man, everything's good. I have my little break before the semester starts up again. So
I feel you. Yeah. How the house stuff going?
It's going well. Actually, today went by to go see. Well, last week had the construction meeting, so we actually met with the main contractor. They told us everything that they're going to do. Also, they ran through everything we agreed upon, and then making sure that it's where it's supposed to be. So making sure what we agree upon is on their floor plan. That went well. The meeting was supposed to be an hour and a half. Ended up really only being 45 minutes because everything went well. Very professional.
That's a first. I've never been a part of any construction meeting that went shorter than the time period.
Yeah, because I mean, we knew what we were doing. We already went to the design center, which is a scam, but either way, you got to do it. So everything was detailed. They basically faxed everything we did to them, and then basically we were sitting down, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna go through everything. You chose to put your lights here. Is that correct? Boom. You chose to put this there. Is that correct? Boom." So we did that. Okay. So last week they told us that. On Monday we're gonna start framing the house. So, actually went today, and the main level and the second level the second level is almost framed, and then I guess within the next week or so the actual roof will be on top also.
So it's not pieced together.
Yeah,
it's not coming in pieces like.
No, they already got I think enough lumber to do all of it. Like,
that's what's up.
So they've been doing it since Monday.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was one of those like almost kind of like the modular homes that they like to talk about where they bring it in pieces.
Whole No, they actually had to put them all actually put them.
They had to frame everything up. And everything. That's what's up.
The house next to us, they call it a spec house because it was I think it's one of the few homes in the development where they built it and then someone bought it instead of someone customizing it to their liking. Yeah,
it's those model homes where they put everything in there, like all the options you could ever think of is in that.
Well,
house.
Actually, no,
to a degree,
yes, because this one it's like it has some of the like high end stuff and not all. Because we actually saw the floor plan for that. Mm-hmm. As buyers, they let us see what the spec house is going to look like, and actually that was one of the options. They're like, do you want this house as is, how we do it? And we kind of like, nah. But that one is 2 weeks ahead of ours.
Okay.
And yeah, they're like, the roof is up. I mean, I think they're still doing some other things, but like the windows is like literally the next thing for that house.
Okay.
Initially they told us December, looks like it'd be November, either way, things.
You mean Thanksgiving? Good. We might have Thanksgiving in your house, bro.
Well, I mean, with this Delta variant, I don't know if anyone's gonna be there, but hey, it's definitely a possibility.
I mean, us vaccinated folks.
True.
I don't know. And see, the thing is, I never talked to you to find out if you know who's not vaccinated in the family.
But
I know. Like, I don't know any. Only because I just decided to just mind my business and not say anything. But I mean, of course, I know which of us cousins are vaccinated and stuff like that. But mom's went today and finally got her first shot.
Okay, all right.
And she, of course, she would have got it last year sometime, but she had some other issues that she had to take care of, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, with what you're doing, you can't take one of these shots right now."
Mm-hmm.
So finally, all that cycled through. And she went today, man. I had to just pray for it, make sure, because she got some underlying stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows to jump out right now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I know some stuff. So I gotta know who. But yeah, so possibly November. But I mean, they told us December from the jump. So anything. I mean, once we not getting into January, and they're really trying to like push it because they already know like how the Delta variant is going. They're like, we kind of want to like get things out of the way
before they shut everything.
Yeah,
if they happen to shut
if they have to.
Yeah.
I
feel you on that.
One of the things was some of the homes that were started months before ours, they were waiting on windows. And that was due to the snowstorm in Texas earlier this year. So it backordered everything when it came to windows.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those homes were just getting windows like last week. Damn. So they were just sitting there. Yeah. Okay. So luckily we've been blessed, obviously praying about it, make sure everything runs smoothly. We're not in a situation where we have to leave right away, but you want to get into your own home, so
yeah, definitely. You know what? Hey, if it's by our birthdays, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go, son. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still thinking we should have Frank throw one of our birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Our cousin Frank, man. Every time I turn around, my man is lit.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff for my friend.
You know what I'm saying? Little Frankie, man.
Oh, man.
I'm kind of like trying to live life vicariously through him right now.
For
you know what I'm saying?
For sure. We got a lot to get into for this week's episode. Gonna recap the rest or the remaining of the Summer Olympic Games that concluded over the weekend. Gonna get into the NBA free agency. Shout out to my man Jonathan Tillman, I said his government name, Tillman. Shout out to him for coming on for our free agency special that we did last week. If you missed it, we just did a live free agency special. You should go check it out, even though you already know what happened. Check it out to see what we did. And also, we're going to get into NBA Summer League, NFL, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Preseason officially starts for the rest of the league today. We'll get into that. Bobby Bowden, Andrew Cuomo. Ooh. Also, we didn't get to talk about it, so we'll get into it a little bit. The versus between the Locks and Dipset. And we'll wrap up with a feature of Golden Teachers with Dr. Joshua Browne. He'll be on later in the show. Just want to remind you all to subscribe to the podcast where podcasts are available. And that includes Apple, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. If you're watching right now on Facebook, or if you are going to watch at your leisure on demand, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. If you're not sure where you want to watch us, just go to Google. It has everything there. Tells you where we are. Google the Sports Reality Podcast so you can be up to date on all of our content. Let's now get into the Olympics, Thad.
Yo.
The medal count. The United States dominated the medal count and just squeaked out at the very last day to get the lead in gold medals.
That's a first. We haven't done that in a while.
No, we usually do. It's just usually the last week is like, okay, now the Americans got it.
Nah, I thought it was like China always gets the gold medal count.
Nah.
But we get the total amount medals. I always thought China got that for some reason.
Miggy, what's good, man? How's everything going with you, my man? He said, let's go Sixers. Miggy's a huge Philly fan. Y'all Sixers ain't going to do nothing, man. Y'all still got Ben Simmons. Y'all
we talking basketball still? We talking basketball still?
Miggy, thanks for tuning in, man. Feel free to chime in on any topic that we have right now and ask me questions. But yes, the United States dominated. It was a question someone had on Clubhouse in one of the rooms I was in. They were like, what's more important for a country, the overall medal count or the gold medal count? What would you say, Thad?
I would say overall, to be honest with you. I think it's overall. Of course, we would want to get the top gold medal count, but I think overall would be best. Like, we could be like third and still have the gold medal count. Like, no, I don't want to be third. I want to be number one total. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I think it's the overall count is more impressive, but the United States also gets the best of both worlds. They usually lead in the overall medal count, and then they're in the top 3 of gold in the last few Olympics.
Yeah, of course.
Number 1 in gold, too, so you get both.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older and understand the Olympic game even more, just getting a medal is impressive in literally any sport.
Yeah,
except basketball for the United States. Literally, except basketball.
Right. That's not acceptable by any means.
No. We got bronze in 2004, and people went bananas.
Right.
For that one. Even track and field. Yes, we had the debacle with the United States 4x100 relay team. That wasn't acceptable for they didn't even get out the heat to get to the semis or anything. But even as a sprinter, like let's say I can't remember his name, but one of the I think it was the 200 meter American. He was expected. It was going to be him and the Norwegian guy. Was it the 200?
I think it was the 200, yeah.
Or was it her? I can't remember. But him and the Norwegian guy won and actually broke a world record in winning. The expectation was it was going to be them two, and of course you want to win. So for someone like him, yeah, he's probably like, yeah, I really want that gold, but it's still impressive that he got silver.
Right. Definitely, yeah.
When I was younger, I would be like, nah, you got silver? Come on, man.
Right.
So yeah, but the United States. Go ahead.
Lately with me, especially when it comes to track and field, I'm like, just medal, because most likely like Jamaica's gonna just wipe the floor with you.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And then somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just medal. You know what I'm saying? Especially with men's track, just medal.
Yeah.
Women's track, I'm kind of like, you got to be first. You got to be first. But, of course, you're going to be fighting against somebody from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying?
So we didn't get to talk about this last week.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, we didn't have a show last week. I forgot.
Yeah, we didn't have we didn't have that.
The Jamaican women in the 100-meter dash.
Ridiculous.
Sweep. First, second, third. Third place had a faster time than Sha'Carri Richardson had at the U.S. trials.
Facts.
So,
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't even know what everybody's hoopla was about besides the weed thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hoopla was about because even her number was low. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, y'all do realize like Jamaica is like so much faster.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
I know the expectation is you run a time in the trials, and then you would obviously you strive to run a faster time at the Olympics, which is reasonable to have. That happens actually quite often. But if you're just taking the Olympic trial numbers, Sha'Carri Richardson was slower than all three. So the Jamaican women swept that. Also, in track and field, Sydney McLaughlin dominated the hurdles.
Isn't she a football player's wife, or is that somebody else? USA wise, another hurdler.
So someone is the sister of a Tampa Bay player.
So is it the sister or wife of the Minnesota player?
Okay, maybe there is someone out there that is a sister or wife I just don't know. Maybe there is. Okay. And I just don't know. But yeah, she played well. Also, there was a young lady. Jeez, man, I should have remembered her name. Did the 800 meter. She won the 800 meter, first American woman to win that since 1968.
Ooh.
Yes, because Americans,
we're known as sprinters.
Yeah, we're known as sprinters. Not too much
impossible of the long distance, the long ones, not that middle area. Because like the 800 is like the middle area.
Yeah.
And even to us, that's like really long anyways. So
shout out to guess who tuned in, man?
Who?
Our cousin from Trinidad, Steven. What's good, man?
Wagwan.
Y'all on lockdown still? Let us know what's going on down there. Let us know what's going on.
Lately he been on Facebook causing violence on Facebook right now.
Definitely
causing violence on Facebook.
Oh man. So we have the U.S. They did well. Yeah. The men's 100 meter dash was a guy named Lamont that raced for Italy. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
He was born in Texas, but migrated to Italy, I believe, when he was like months old. So he grew up in Italy, and he won. He got gold, first gold for 100 meter dash from Italy ever. And then I just found out this week that he's actually a police officer. That's his actual job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn,
he a fed.
Don't run from him. You understand?
For sure. Team USA basketball, both men's and women's won that.
That was expected.
Yeah, women was expected.
By far.
And they played well. What wasn't expected with the women was Japan getting to the gold medal game.
Yeah.
And you want to know the difference of like the Olympic spirit and then like you being expected to be there. The U.S., yes, they won. They were happy for winning, but if they had happened to lose, it would have been totally catastrophic. Japan was just happy to be in the game.
Oh, big facts.
Like, they were playing hard, even to the end. Even though they lost by 20, they were playing hard the entire game, and they were happy. There was one young lady who got in with like a minute left in the game. She got the ball, laid it up, and won, and she was just happy to score.
Hell yeah.
To say, I scored in an Olympic game against the United States, and I got silver. Like, that was a big thing.
I ain't mad at her by any means. So. If I could score 2 points in an Olympic basketball match, or even score a goal in a soccer match, I'll be done, bro. I don't need to do nothing else after that. I'm good.
Yeah. So overall, though, what do you think about the Olympics? Was it, as a viewer, did you enjoy the 2 weeks?
It was weird, man. Like, I enjoyed it, but it just seemed weird. Like, I didn't really notice that there wasn't a lot of fans there like usual. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they kind of did what they needed to do production-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the Olympic athletes were there. So it kind of like, they did their correct production work where it made it still kind of look that they were still attendees. You know what I'm saying? So not like the NBA stuff where you just see like random posters where there's supposed to be people, and then a couple rows back is where the people start like, what? This doesn't make any sense. But no, it was pretty good. I mean, Experience was good. Seeing Luka and that team run through and lose it on a Nicholas Batum block. I couldn't believe that by any means. I saw the layup happen and I was like, yo, they're about to win this joint. And then the block comes. I'm like, who is that? And it was Nicholas Batum. I was like, are you serious? Like, all these players, it's funny, all these players that we see do this stuff like Patty Mills or Nicholas Batum, and you're like, why can't y'all do this in the NBA game? You know what I'm saying?
Because, man, it's the best of the best on the floor at the same time.
But I'm just like, it's so wild to see, like, these other countries. Like, you know, me and you, we've always known that these other, like, when it comes to the overseas game and stuff like that, and they have very talented players over there. Mm-hmm. But you could see the difference between USA playing in the Olympics and every other country playing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, you know who the teams are, and you just see the U.S. and just like, well, we know that we're supposed to be the best in the world, but we'll see who decides to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, is the team going to show up, or is it going to be just the players that actually show up? So I was very impressed that they made it through and won the gold. I was impressed. I didn't think it was going to happen by any means. I just thought they probably wouldn't even medal, to be honest with you.
Well, talking about that, that's a great segue topic. Kevin Durant had some choice words for people like you, Big Thad, that didn't think that they were going to medal or play well.
We're grinding for this one. We're going to go up the stairs. There you go. Everybody who said we were going to take the L, they had some power rankings on.
Kendrick Perkins, you talk a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Act like you American.
They had some power rankings out. They had us fourth behind Slovenia.
Like this not our game.
Come on, man. Talking about they catching up to us. Like, are you serious? This skill is unmatched. You dig? Shout out to everybody that won this gold. Everybody that chipped in and helped out. We're going to the press conference, but I had to talk my shit real quick.
What do you have to say about what Kevin Durant and Draymond Green had to say about the Americans that didn't think that this team would play well?
Well, I was very impressed in Draymond talking about Kendrick Perkins.
Say that again?
I said I was very impressed that Draymond talked about Kendrick Perkins. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed by that. I wasn't impressed with his play, though. He was trash, like I always say he is. But KD talking, I understand KD. You know what I'm saying? KD likes to be on Twitter and stuff. So he basically, I mean, he was right, though. There was a lot of doubters. Of course. You lose to Nigeria, son. Like, come on.
Yeah, like
you lose to Nigeria, you lose to France. Like,
and before that, lost to Australia.
Yeah, lost to Australia. Like, yeah, it wasn't.
And then
looking
game
good for
one, you lose to France, only scoring 70 points.
Right, like, and you're supposed to be the best in the world. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong by any means. France is a great team.
Yeah,
France is a great team, but. I mean, the way y'all looked was terrible. And don't get me wrong. I understand that y'all haven't played together as a team as long as these other clubs. Mm-hmm. But still, you know what I'm saying? We all know that y'all weren't the best team that we could have put together by any means. By any means. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the current Lakers squad is a better Olympic team than y'all. Mm-hmm. Let's keep that real. But I understand him coming out. Plus, he got his, other. He's the leading point getter.
Yeah, leading
now
points,
over Carmelo,
leading scorer in Olympic history for the United States, and I believe that would probably be Olympic history. I don't think anyone has as many points. I mean, because you would have to play a lot of games in the Olympics to get those points.
I think if KD wasn't on this team, they wouldn't have won.
that is look, and that's something I was just about to say.
Yeah.
You got to give credit to KD because if he wasn't on this team,
Oh yeah,
man, oh man. Like honestly,
it might be worse than 04. Was that 04?
Yeah, honestly, if you replace Kevin Durant with LeBron James on this team, I don't think they do well.
Yeah,
I don't think they do well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying LeBron can't score.
Right.
It's just the scoring is what the United States needed. Someone you could just give the ball to and say, hey, forget everything else that's happening on the floor. You go and get yours. And he was unstoppable. Another thing, though, Drew Holiday, once he started, he got there kind of late. But once he started playing, that helped. Devin Booker helped also. Mm-hmm. I think those three guys for sure
don't forget,
played well.
You can't leave out Tatum. Tatum did pretty good for us.
Tatum played well in the last 2 games for sure.
Yeah.
Last 2 games. The rest of them, it was just like, all right, pedestrian. Okay. But yeah.
But I mean, like you can't. And I mean, I'm talking about like they had us behind Slovenia. That team hadn't lost a game.
Yeah.
Ever since Luka is involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't sleep on that team. And especially you gotta think about we weren't even sure if he was even gonna play with Slovenia. And it was their first Olympics. Their first. You know what I'm saying?
That I did not know.
Yeah, that was their first Olympics. Like the team just didn't make it into the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing it's kind of like U.S. men's soccer not making it into the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is actually a great that is a great comparison,
You know what I'm saying?
That Slovenia made it, making it is like if U.S. men's soccer made the Olympic Games. Yep. I enjoyed the Olympics.
I enjoyed it.
I felt like, is it always 2 weeks then?
It did feel a lot quicker.
I feel like it's usually 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
it always seems a little bit longer. I think you know what? I think it's because most of our viewing stuff is late at night. Mm-hmm. Compared to like other years where we might see some stuff during the day and like early evening or late evening going into the night. Mm-hmm. But this joint was like everything was like late evening, early morning. I think that's what I think it went by a lot quicker because we didn't see a lot of the stuff.
You had to use the NBC app or the NBC Sports app or
watch replays
or Peacock to see a lot of the things live, or like you then said when they showed on primetime, most of the things you've already know. Like primetime, half of it was replay and half of it was live.
Right.
Because when they showed the live, it was actually like 9 and 10 in the morning, or 11 and 12, depending on how late. It used to go to 11:30. So when it was 11:30, it was actually 1:30 over there because they were 14 hours ahead of us. So it was good overall. Let's now get into the NBA free agency, BigThad. Do you enjoy free agency every year now?
I'm enjoying it a little bit more than previous years, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if it's because the players are more heavily involved now, or what. But I mean, it's kind of enjoyable. Like it's almost I can't even think of the word. I was gonna say anticipation.
Yeah,
but, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you don't really know what's gonna happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like every year it's been getting more and more exciting. You mentioned that maybe it's because the players have more power, and that's a good thing. Also, the NBA has they've made it a holiday in the league. They're like, look, we're going to really play this up. We're going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have shows on ESPN and NBA TV, and we're going to make it a big thing. So a lot of things happen in the NBA. Literally 2 minutes into free agency, the Pelicans and the Bulls agreed to a sign and trade where Alonzo Ball gets signed and then traded to the Bulls in return for, it was Tomas Satoransky. It was a Garrett Temple and a second round draft pick.
Right.
There was another signing trade with Kyle Lowry going to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
And the Raptors got Goran Dragic and Precious Achiuwa. He was ultimately signed for 3 years, $85 million. What's his name? Lonzo Ball ultimately was 4 years, $80 million. It was reported that was 82, but it was 4 years, $80 million, I believe, is guaranteed out of that deal. Some other news: Chris Paul did a 4 years, $120.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the annual salary is less than what he could have gotten, but I think Chris Paul is just like, look, I could play for $40 million this year, and there's a possibility that I might get exposed because of my age. So let me just get a 4-year deal and 120 to make sure I get 120 for sure.
Right.
Oh man, Jared Allen, 5 years, $100 million to remain with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Norman Powell, 5 years, $90 million to remain with the Portland Trailblazers. I thought that was big that they were able to retain him. Yes, they had to overpay, but that's what you got to do for a medium-sized market in the NBA. You sometimes got to overpay to retain your own guys. Duncan Robinson, 5 years, $90 million. What do you think about that signing?
They needed to sign him. I think they need to keep him just because of his shooting. But I didn't think it was going to be that much money.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, that's the way the league goes. And Pat Riley gets what he wants. So, yeah.
DeMar DeRozan, 3 years, $85 million to go to the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, hold up, where'd he go again? I couldn't remember.
Spencer Dinwiddie, 3 years, $54 million. And I believe
that's all we had.
It's a lot of incentives. He could get more incentives, but also the second year is not. There's portions of the deal that aren't guaranteed.
Right.
Like they're contingent on him playing 50 games. If he plays 50 games in the season, he'll get.
That's right. He was
it.
injured.
He's coming off of the torn ACL.
So it kind of looks out for them too, for the team too, and looks out for him also.
Gary Trent Williams, 3 years, $51.8 million. Derrick Rose, 3 years, $43 million to remain with the Knicks. Gary Trent, I meant to say, remain with the Toronto Raptors.
That kind of sucks for him.
Yep.
That kind of sucks for him.
Well, he's going to be the starting two guard for sure.
Dragic is probably not going to stay. That's gonna.
And they got Scotty Barnes in the draft, which is I believe a forward. So I mean they're gonna be interesting. There's still rumblings about Pascal Siakam, what's gonna ultimately happen with him, but
right, that's what I'm saying. Like Pascal said, he wants to be out.
Kelly Olynyk, 3 years, $37 million to go to the Detroit Pistons.
How? Kelly's still in this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the NBA, man. Some of them people that you think like should have been out the league by now are still there. Sometimes it's so weird, but not like Ish Smith. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I guess shout out to Kelly. I guess he's still making that money, I guess. Yeah.
TJ McConnell, 4 years, $33.6 million. That's a come up for TJ McConnell. Shout out
by far
to him.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso, another come up, 4 years, $37 million to go to the Chicago Bulls. So now Alex Caruso and Lonzo Ball reunite again.
Yo, do you know they could? Well, I could say I see them like the Jason Williams, Mike Bibby. Like not the possibility, just like them two together just kind of looks like that. You know what I'm saying? But not skill wise, but they just look like that so far.
PJ Tucker, 2 years, $14.3 million to go to the Miami Heat. So a crucial defender leaving the Milwaukee Bucks. The Miami Heat also extended Jimmy Butler to an extension. I forgot how much that was. I think it was like 4 years.
Probably around the same old 4
like
years, 180 or something like that.
150 or something like that. Talking about Supermax, Steph Curry signed a 5-year, $250 million Supermax.
Jeez.
He is the first player to get 2 Supermax deals in NBA history.
That's wild.
Trae Young signed his Supermax, which
rookie Supermax.
and actually it wasn't even technically it wasn't the rookie one because he qualified because he was on an all NBA team. So he was able to get the Supermax.
The Supermax, yeah.
Just like Luka Doncic was able to get the Supermax also.
That's crazy.
So they're both locked up with their teams for 5 years. But the Dallas Mavericks, they re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. and their biggest acquisition that came to the team was Reggie Bullock. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I personally think there's something that NBA players know on the inside about Dallas that players don't want to go there. Because let's be real.
It's
Texas
Dallas,
is
though.
Yeah, but think about it, though.
But you got to think about previous Dallas teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been real superstars besides
I understand.
Dirk. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been that homegrown type, almost kind of like Utah also.
Mm-hmm.
You know how
like San Antonio
draft and just draft. You know
From the people I know who live in Dallas or in the Dallas Fort Worth area, for a young man that has money, Dallas is a spot you wouldn't mind being in. You know, and then you have Luka Doncic as a teammate.
Yeah.
But there has to, and then you have an owner as Mark Cuban. But
Cuban's cool with everything. He's like, whatever, I'm down with it. Let's go.
There has to be something though that's kind of that they know on the inside, or something that's like, I ain't really trying to go there because they can't get anyone.
You know what? When you think about it, also Dallas and San Antonio are like Milwaukee and Memphis.
Yeah, they're like the medium
like,
size
medium size small market.
Yeah, Texas is.
Texas, you always think is big and bright in Texas.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
But
but yeah, I don't understand why they can't get anyone. Let's now get to the big news though.
Go ahead.
The Lakers,
the Olympic team, bruh.
They were able to sign Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
Dwight Howard.
Yep.
Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, I knew they were missing a piece somewhere, and I seen that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Trevor Ariza.
I was a little worried about that one.
And they re-signed Taylor and Horton Tucker. Yeah.
And they got Mac McClung.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Georgetown. You know
Mac McClung might be one of the most.
He was the most hyped everything out of high school just because he could dunk. He was the white kid that could dunk. Dunk and dunk hard. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do terrible in college. But the hype that was over him.
Yeah.
Because he was like basically from the same area
as Iverson.
You know what I'm saying? And he had kind of that flashy like Iverson, but we all knew he wasn't Iverson level.
Yeah.
By far.
And then he went to Georgetown.
And
so
then
I was like, oh, here we go.
But then the whole coaching changes and stuff like that happened while there. He went to Texas Tech, but he actually played a lot better at Texas Tech.
He did play better at Texas Tech. I'll say that. So I got to give him
pretty good in Summer League. Doing pretty good in Summer League.
I got to give him that for that point.
Yeah.
From my Uber Chronicles, I picked up 2 guys that went to Georgetown that played on the basketball team. and they were venting about Mac McClung.
Oh no!
It was just like, yo, he's really not that good compared to like all the hype that came in, and they were they were like, but Pat always loves him in practice. Pat loves him, so he's like, he does nothing wrong in practice. So you had two guys. One of them was a prominent Georgetown teammate of his.
Is that the one that went to Maryland?
I know
that's at Maryland now.
I gotta look at the name, but when I see the name, I was like, so because due to Uber, you know people's names. Right, so when they're talking, I was like,
at least let me go see.
Let me go see it. And I was like, oh, he is the best player on the team.
Oh, I know exactly.
Saying that about Mac McClung.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I just can't remember the name now. Because that was now 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah. But anyway, so the Lakers though, they got all these pieces.
Yeah. Are we missing anybody that we didn't like? They need to pick up JJ Redick too. Just because they need.
Wayne Ellington. Now that you said Wayne Ellington also.
Okay.
Thad.
They got 3 more spots, I think, still. So
I personally think they have enough already.
I say they get JJ, another backup big man.
Well, Gasol's still there.
Nuh-uh. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I know what it is. They retired from the overseas game. That's what's going on. I forgot.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, because both of them said they're done playing.
Yeah, they both played for Spain. Yeah, man. How well will the Lakers be next season, Thad?
The sky's the limit with that team, bro. Be honest with you. I think they want to show out because everybody's talking smack that they're like the oldest team in the league and all this other stuff, and I think they want to show out because one, Westbrook hasn't won a chip yet. Melo hasn't won a chip yet. Just out of those guys. And I know LeBron is like, yep, y'all are on the team. Y'all need a chip. You know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard has a chip. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think the sky's the limit for them. I think they should be pretty good, pretty well. Everybody's talking like Melo's not. Melo looked pretty good these past 2 seasons with Portland.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I think, hey, they're going to play that Olympic game, man. I honestly think they're going to play that Olympic game, and like Melo's going to show out, and everybody's going to be surprised.
I also believe players like LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to play maybe 65 to 70 games.
No, I got you.
And they're just going to like really pace, and then they're going to use same thing with I think all those starters. I think the entire starting lineup may play 70 games, and they'll stagger them when it comes to DMPs, and just to keep them a little fresh, but keep them still alert, still active with the team, unless there is an actual injury where then players have to actually play. But if everyone's healthy, I don't see them not losing in the finals. And that's not hyperbole being, prisoner of the moment. I don't see them losing because I don't see any team in the West really competing with them, especially with Kawhi Leonard, who, by the way, signed an extension, but looks like he's not going to be playing all
He's
season.
not going to be playing this season. No,
yeah.
He ain't playing this
season. I think the Suns will still be decent, but
now everybody knows how they play now.
Yeah, and then the Lakers just upgraded. They definitely
upgraded.
They definitely upgraded. The Lakers also did not re-sign Dennis Schroeder. And I just before we get
no.
Before we no.
I was gonna say, don't say that they didn't resign him.
Well, they didn't re-sign him, but,
you know what I'm saying?
But before we get to that, I want to play a clip.
All right.
A little flashback to something we discussed in episode 151. Keep that in mind. Episode 151.
What episode?
This is episode 169.
Okay. Okay.
So 18 episodes ago.
Jeez.
Just want to recap something that we discussed. Something with the Lakers. Brian Windhurst, didn't he say something about Dennis Schroeder? What did he say about Dennis Schroeder?
Yeah, Schroeder turned down a contract extension from the Lakers. I think it was like 2 years, $85 million or something like that, or
4 years. But
that's why it take a few.
like the only reason, and like I told you, I think the only reason he turned that down because he was in that trade talk for Lillard, which I understand. But there's going to be two players from the Lakers that would have had to go, 2-3 players that would have had to go because of the contract and where the luxury tax was for the Lakers. So, hey, it happened. You know what I'm saying? You were part of the trade talks. I mean, who wouldn't want to trade you for Lillard? You know what I'm saying? But
was it Lillard or Lowry? Which one?
Lowry.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought maybe there was
my bad
about Lillard also.
No, my bad. You know the L's. It's the L's.
No, it's all good. It could have been either one. He would have to be the guy that needs to go to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm that's the only thing I could think of. There's no way he's looking for more money from the Lakers. You got your mind. But that's the only thing I could think of is, because of trade talk, and then, there's a possibility, hey, LeBron or somebody could leave, you know what I'm saying, and he doesn't have a chance, you know what I'm saying? But I know you had responded with a reason why. What was yours?
What did I say? Now I gotta go look at my text.
Would you say he's betting on himself for the?
I said. I gotta read it verbatim.
Yeah,
because it sounds better. I said he's stupid not to take that deal.
Right.
Unless he's betting on himself winning the NBA Finals MVP this season. Like, that's the only way we can be like, all right, now we got to pay you more than what we offered you. So, yeah.
So we were right.
We were totally right. Like, we were sitting there like, yo, you're an idiot. They were giving you 4 years, $85 million. You just be like, nah, I think I deserve more, and I'm going to show you all. And like I said, he was going to have to win the NBA Finals MVP, not just win the NBA Finals. NBA Finals MVP, where you got to be like, all right, yeah, I really got to give you more now.
Right.
That didn't happen. He actually played really bad in the postseason.
All right. And they were basically saying, here, $84 million, here you go.
He now signed for a 1 year, I believe, $5 million mid-level exception with the Boston Celtics. Now, ultimately, I believe he's going to play well with the Celtics. He'll get a good deal next year, but he ain't getting $21 million a year.
He was fighting that $5 million mid-level too. He was trying to get $9 million.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Nah,
come on, bro." Come on, man!
You better sign, or you're gonna be sitting. You can be sitting at home.
You're gonna be playing in Shanghai, China, for the Shanghai Sharks if you don't take this deal.
Oh man!
Like, my goodness, that was man. Oh.
I still think the Lakers should go after JJ Redick for some reason.
They could.
Is it time?
Yeah, they could.
It's time for JJ to get his chip.
They could.
Right?
And to be honest, Laker fans and Lakers organization aren't off the hook with Dennis Schroeder because the organization offered him that. Like, if they offered him that, they weren't going to get Russell Westbrook. They weren't going to get Carmelo and Ellington and,
on like mid-level exceptions.
Yeah, they weren't going to get that because they would have just been, it would have just been too much money. And the Lakers, obviously the Wizards didn't even want Schroeder because we would have taken Schroeder.
Right.
He would have just been part of the trade too.
Right.
But nah, like
I'm assuming that even though he kind of turned it down, like the offer was still there up until free agency started.
I don't think it was there, man. I think once they saw him in the postseason, they just were like, "Oh, we dodged a bullet on this."
I wonder if he could have been like, "Okay, I want to sign it now." You know what I'm saying? I'll sign it. I'll sign it.
Also, another thing to remember, his little, he was talking a lot about stuff within the organization, like, oh yeah, me and LeBron, we the only ones unvaccinated, ha ha ha. Also, is he didn't play well in the postseason, and then he was put in COVID protocol twice. Last season, and one time, based on how long he was in protocol, we can reasonably guess that he had COVID.
Right.
And that could be a reason why he struggled. I understand, but man, he definitely fumbled the bag. Before we get out of this segment, though, the Washington Wizards. Is this current Washington Wizards roster better than last season's roster? We have the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie. Okay. The starting lineup is looking like Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, and Gafford. Daniel Gafford. The bench is looking like Aaron Holiday, who the Wizards signed from the Pacers.
Neto
also has another point guard. KCP has the 2. Chris, you have, is it Kispert
or
Kispert or Bertans, Denny Avdia, and Montrezl Harrell.
Right. Oh, we didn't even talk about Browne either. Wow.
Browne who?
It's in the center that got injured.
Oh yeah, Thomas Bryant too. Is on the roster.
Yeah.
Also, what's his name? Is it Isaiah Todd?
Isaiah Todd, the rookie.
Yeah. So this team is deep, and I must say,
and this is a first. This is the first in many years that we've actually had a decently deep bench.
I must say, I was upset with the Russell Westbrook trade, but now looking at the draft picks and the acquisition of Spencer Dinwiddie and Aaron Holiday, yes, I would obviously want to have Russell Westbrook. But if we're going to be able to get Kuzma, KCP, Harrell, and then ultimately have enough space to still get Spencer Dinwiddie and Holiday,
right,
I can deal with that as a Wizards fan. So I know I had a hashtag fire Tommy Shepard.
You kind of jumped that gun. You jumped the gun on that.
I might still have to bring it out if things are going bad.
No,
next
I got you.
year.
I got
but,
you. No, because he was.
I will say I may be wrong.
No. What he was doing, Ernie Grunfeld-ish things.
Perfect.
So
yes.
you weren't too wrong there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, I still want to say that the Westbrook trade, I don't think we got more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put those three and put their contributions together, Westbrook still kind of surpasses that. You know what I mean?
Obviously, as a single player, yes.
I mean, just all three of them, the way they play and what they have done in the past year, like, I still think you get more out of Westbrook than you do out of those three players combined on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? With them being here in Washington, it might change. Like, Kuzma has to finally have a breakout season.
I think he will.
He finally has to. KCP, I mean, he's always been decently
He's a defender.
solid.
He can hit the three.
Yeah, decently solid.
Yeah, and when I say hit the three, I mean he's not a 3-point shooter, but he can hit the three.
Right. He's a spot-ish guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The Wizards are definitely deeper, and one of the deepest teams.
I don't know if I could say they're better on paper, but they are deeper now.
Real quick, Summer League is going on in Vegas. Cade Cunningham, the number 1 overall pick for the Detroit Pistons, and Jalen Green, the 2nd overall pick for the Houston Rockets, faced off the other night. They both put on a decent show for the Summer League fans. Summer League has been pretty good so far, but LiAngelo Ball has been the guy. LiAngelo Ball.
Ball control.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe you got a soundbite for him.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, bro.
Ball control.
Ball control.
That's terrible. Pause.
Ball control.
On everything I love. Pause.
Man, so LeVar Ball has at least at the moment, all three of his sons in the NBA. Not only that, Leandro Ball has an invitation to the Charlotte Hornets training camp.
Well, he did last season.
No, he was with the last season was the Pistons.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same.
Charlotte,
but it's his brother.
You know, his brother's there.
His brother's there, and
yeah.
I honestly think that's what it was. And now he's actually jumping on the opportunity finally.
Yes. And he's played well so far. Like the 3-point shot, something that they said that he can do. Mm-hmm. He's definitely showing for sure he can do it, and he's doing it at an efficient clip for someone that's not in the NBA yet.
Right.
That was his game that they said, hey, he's the one that can shoot out the entire group. But he definitely put on a little more muscle. He's not chubby anymore.
Yeah, he
definitely put on some more muscle. On the defensive side, he's not. It doesn't look like he's a liability so far. So
then again, it is summer league.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said so far he doesn't look like a liability. But so yeah, man. And LeVar had a hat that said "I told you so." While he was masked up in the crowd, he had a hat that said "I told you so."
Well, see, you know
Ball
what?
Control.
The thing is Jello put all this on himself.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? With him messing up that UCLA thing,
he did.
I blame all of that on him. Like, I knew that he was high school. You knew that he was good, but he still wasn't the best out of all three. He was still even though the youngest one was younger than all of them, but you could tell how good he could be.
Yeah,
by far. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was that decent guy. You know what I'm saying? That decent guy. And then he goes to UCLA and does middle child syndrome things and mess that all up.
Yeah,
it would have been real good to see him at UCLA. I think he would have been pretty good.
That middle.
I don't think it'd have been one and done. I don't think he would have been one.
No. He would have had to play a couple of years at least. That middle child syndrome is real though. It is real. It is real. Now let's wrap it up here for our NBA segment. Let's now get to the NFL quickly. Pro Football Hall of Fame induction. BigThad, did you watch any of it?
No, I didn't watch any of it.
I don't ever watch any of those things. I just end up seeing the social media clips of the parts of their best speech. Why am I sitting here to listen to somebody speak about their for like 20-30 minutes? I ain't trying
about the career that we already saw.
I'd rather hear someone else actually speak about their career than them themselves, to be honest. But yeah, right. It was it was two classes that went in. 2021 class was Roger Staubach. I'm sorry, Drew Pearson. Roger Staubach's been in it. Drew Pearson. He was presented by Roger Staubach. Drew Pearson of the Dallas Cowboys, Tom Flores of the Raiders. And I want to say both of those guys, Drew Pearson and Tom Flores, I don't know what was taking them so long to get in. Drew Pearson was on the all-decade team for the 70s as the wide receiver.
Okay.
Also, Tom Flores won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
With the Raiders. And they weren't in there, but they got in there. Peyton Manning, John Lynch, Calvin Johnson, Alan Faneca, and Charles Woodson got in the 2020 class, which couldn't get inducted because of COVID-19. That class was Jimmy Johnson of the Dallas Cowboys, their head coach. Also, with the other head coach, Bill Cowher of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You also had Edgerrin James.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who else was in that? Who else was in that class? I'm having a blank right now. I'm trying to see if I could. Steve Atwater, Isaac Bruce, Troy Polamalu, Zach Thomas,
right.
And I believe Not one of the Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
Yes, not Bruce. Bruce has already been there. Clay Matthews, senior, not junior. Clay Matthews, senior. So I think those are very, very good Hall of Fame classes. The Hall of Fame game was last week. Dallas Cowboys lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe it was 16-3. Dallas Cowboys are on Hard Knocks this year. Did you watch Hard Knocks on Tuesday when it premiered?
I've never watched a Hard Knocks.
Oh, I you know what? I just assumed you weren't going to watch it because of the Cowboys, but I didn't know you've never watched it. I'll say this. These are the good seasons to go watch. Obviously, you got to watch the first one, the Ravens, 2000. You got to watch that one just because it was the first one, and they were actually coming off of the Super Bowl victory. Or were they? 2000. No, that was 2001 because they were 2001. So you got to go watch that one. 2002 was the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't think that one was really good. I honestly don't remember anything from that one, so it wasn't good. The one with the Chiefs in 2008, I think, was good. Okay. The first one with the Bengals with Chad Ochocinco, that one was good. The 2001, which one was also good? There was another one that was good, fairly recent. But the last couple ones have been kind of bad. The Raiders and then the Chargers / Rams. That one was bad. The other one with the Rams a couple years ago, that was bad too. But yeah, those other ones that I suggested, you should go check and see. But the Dallas Cowboys on it this year. Episode 1 was focused on Dak Prescott's return. They get into the whole how he strained his shoulder. They discussed that. But honestly, man, the best part and the most hilarious part is seeing Jerry Jones putting salt on a McGriddle. Like, who puts salt on a McGriddle?
How, Sway? Take a
First of all, you eating a McGriddle. You a millionaire eating a McGriddle in your office.
That's terrible.
As for the football, Zeke looked really good. I mean, but I had known that because I'm a Cowboys fan. I follow him on Instagram. He lost a lot of weight coming into camp, so that was good. The last couple of years, he was coming into camp heavy and trying to get into shape, and I believe that affected his play during especially the early start of the season. He looked good. I also like Micah Parsons so far. Okay. Micah Parsons is all over the place so far, and even in the Hall of Fame game, he was all over the place on that field, recovered a fumble, and they showed how after that series, they took him out the game, and he was like, I'm trying to play some more. I kind of like that from someone, a number 1 overall pick, saying, hey, I'm trying to play some more in this game.
Right.
Because usually those guys know that they're starters. Those guys know that they're going to be there. So they're like, man, I'm just trying to, stay healthy and then be ready. He was like, no, I'm trying to play. So that's a good thing. Finally got some speed on that side of the ball. You're a Washington football team, BigThad.
Yeah.
What's the score?
3-0 Patriots.
Oh, okay. Well, I assume in the second quarter? I assume.
Well, no. Yeah, they're second quarter now. I forget I have a delay. So there should be second quarter now. And Mac Jones is looking pretty decent out there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I still don't think he's good, but hey. Still don't think he's good.
He's looking decent. He's looking Tom Brady-ish right now.
Oh, man. Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
You know what I'm saying? Got to shout out the Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying? Roll Tide.
Let's now get to our quick hitters. Bobby Bowden passed away over the weekend.
Wow.
Bobby Bowden, one of the best college football coaches. He coached at Florida State. He had that rough patch where he was going up against Miami all the time and losing wide right. He had 3 games where the kicker just couldn't get it.
That was what led to, for the longest time, like nobody ever going after a kicker from Florida State.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even matter if you were a decent kicker. They just weren't going after a Florida State kicker.
And then they got Sebastian Janikowski.
Right.
And, coincided with a national title also.
Right.
So, yeah, he passed away at the age of 90-something. I did not know this, though. He's been battling some illnesses. But last October, he was like, yeah, I'm really fighting. Oh, he said, I'm going to fight COVID because he got COVID also. Got COVID last October, and he said, I'm going to fight it because I need to get to the polls to vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, Jesus, Bobby.
Don't be rude.
Oh, man. And
Bobby.
We know, Trump obviously lost the election. And, yeah, man, he said that was his thing. I got to beat COVID so I can vote Donald Trump back into office. I'm not shocked. He's a college football coach. I am not shocked that he's a Trump supporter, and he's from the South, and he coached Florida State. Like, come on. I'm not shocked. I just thought it was funny that he said, I gotta beat COVID.
Right.
Not to survive, but
to go vote.
To go vote for Donald Trump.
That's right. His American right to vote.
It is his American right to vote. I'll give him that. It is your right to vote. I still will question certain candidates. And that is one of those candidates. Let's now get to our champ and chump of the week. We celebrate those who do well.
Wow, winning.
And criticize those who don't.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
It's our champ.
Let's go, champ!
And chump.
Now this guy's a chump.
Of the week. It's our champ and chump of the week. Every week we celebrate those who do well and we criticize those that do not. Big Thad, who is your champ of the week?
My champ of the week is J.R. Smith.
Baby, want a champ. Let the viewers know why J.R. Smith is your champ of the week.
I mean, first of all, who would have thought I would have him as a champ of the week of anything? But he is going back to college.
Yep.
Going back to college, get his degree, and he also is hoping to play on the North Carolina A&T golf team?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. So supposedly he's one of the best in the NBA.
He is a good golfer from what people I've heard people say.
Yeah, so it might
it's
be pretty
like
good.
Him, Steph, and those are the ones I always hear about. Iguodala I hear is a good one, but J.R. Smith.
So he's going back to college to get his degree in liberal studies or whatever. And I know liberal studies is very wide, so it could be just about in anything. So, but that's pretty dope, though. I ain't mad at him. I heard he's real good with money also. So
yes,
he
as
going
back
to college is no thing.
Yeah, as ratchet as he is, he if you go by stereotypes, and that's why stereotypes are dangerous.
Right.
You just look at him, super tatted. The way he plays on the basketball court is like, this dude is the hood of the hood of the hood.
Right, like how is he still playing in the NBA?
And then you find out, he isn't a stereotypical basketball player because he has two parents in the home, and he actually was he had good grades in high school. It was, and he's good with money, so like he does not fit the stereotype of someone that you would assume would be when you look at J.R. Smith. So yeah, man, shout out to him. My champ of the week goes to all of the Olympic athletes. Baby, want a champ. Let's be real, man. The Olympics went well. Honestly, we didn't hear if anyone tested positive for COVID while there.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a single story about that.
Did they test for COVID then?
They were.
They were? Okay. Maybe their tests are just better than ours.
Or maybe these athletes were like, look, I'm trying to compete. So I'm not trying to get COVID.
Right.
So I'm going to do my best and do what I got to do. Not only that, it was entertaining. So, and to do all of this, like I said, during a global pandemic, shout out to you for contributing to our enjoyment as fans. So yeah, shout out to you.
Now, you think they could have got the Olympics done last year like they originally had planned?
No.
You don't think it could have happened?
No,
Okay.
it was like it was the wild. I mean, man, the fact that we didn't have vaccines. That was a big thing. I think a lot of these players, a lot of these athletes, they're vaccinated. You know. And then a lot of them also were getting sick around the time the Olympics would have started.
Right, true.
Yeah, because, stay-at-home orders, especially in the U.S., were being lifted. They were now going around, and then, athletes were getting sick. Also, just other countries, cases were up, things like that. So, yeah, I think it would have been a total shit show if it was last August. It would have been bad. Big Thad, who is your chump of the week?
Orioles first baseman Chris Davis.
Because you're a chump.
I didn't know he was still in the league. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm about to say. Like the man announced he's retiring today. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait, you were still on this team, bruh? Like this is my home team. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait, Chris Davis is still on the team? I thought he retired like a couple years ago. Come to find out he was just injured. And
jeez.
Like, dog, his downfall was the Adderall suspension.
Yeah.
Ever since that Adderall suspension, everything has gone down with him. And injuries and just terrible batting. And, yeah, it was just completely downhill after that Adderall suspension. Like, they should have just let him stay on Adderall. But they considered it a performance-enhancing drug.
Now, hold on. Does he need Adderall?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he needed it.
I think that's what it was. He needed Adderall. So that's what I'm saying. I think ever since that, it just went downhill from there.
I mean,
with him. Which is kind of understandable knowing that he would need Adderall.
Knowing someone that has ADHD, and when you don't take your medicine, jeez. Yeah. Like, you are not really efficient human being after that.
Like they, of course, they never really talked about it, like him needing it for anything. But if you're taking it the way it was, and then the reaction afterwards of not taking it, and then your play is completely terrible, yeah, he definitely needed that for whatever he had going on with him. It just kind of, I think, yeah, it helped him focus to hit the ball. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Chris Davis, I didn't know you were still on the team, so that's why you're my chump of the week.
My chump of the week goes to Jalen Rose.
Because you're a chump.
Uh-oh.
He didn't do anything specific. It's just something he does all the time. He tries to take credit for being the catalyst of all the people named Jalen in the United States.
Oh, geez.
And I'm just like,
stop it.
Look. You were a very good NBA player, but in pop culture, you're not really known. Your Q rating is not that high.
Nobody knows.
So, like, come on, you're not the reason why there's a whole bunch of Jalens. Like, honestly,
when people think of Fab Five, the first person they think of is Chris Webber.
Chris Webber,
not Jalen Rose.
Then
Juwan
Howard.
Right.
Then
like
Jalen.
It may be Jalen. It might be
Ray King.
You know what I'm saying? It might be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So yeah, he was trying to, they were talking on the show, and look, I don't even know if he's serious, but the fact that he keeps on saying it, it's like, yeah, man, I'm the catalyst for all these Jalens, and then the derivatives Jadens. And I'm just like, that might be Jaden Smith.
Right.
Like, he's old enough now to like he's in his 20s, so like you can sit here and be like, maybe he's the catalyst for Jaden's, but yeah, it's, the fact that he does that, that's why I just had to give him a chump of the week.
Because you're a chump.
Let's now get into our sports free zone. Governor Cuomo of New York will not be Governor Cuomo much longer. He is going to resign in the next couple weeks after a probe into sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations
that he had happened. He literally told the attorney general to look into this.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, let's do this probe since I'm being investigated. And then he's just like, yeah, now I'm out of there. Shout out to my man Tillman.
What Tillman say?
Give that man Jalen for for Black History Month. Expand on that, Tillman, just so I could understand. Expand, or do you get it then?
No, that's why I was like, wait, hold on. Is it Black History Month?
No. He said give him. I guess give him Chump of the Week or Chump of the Month. I don't know. let me know, Tillman, what you say. Let me reiterate, substantiate, like Miss Candelaria would say. Substantiate.
Look. Tillman threw me off, bro. I honestly look. You know me right now. My months have been going wild and together. So he kind of threw me off there. I was like, wait, hold on. Is it Black History Month right now? Like, what's going on? No. Did we do something new?
But yeah, Governor Cuomo.
Yeah.
He's out of there.
Jeez.
Look.
It's not looking good for him.
What do you have to say about the situation, Dan?
Dude, like, we know we have creepy politicians by far. But you know, we have new definitions of what sexual harassment is now these days, compared to when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? I was actually talking to a young lady that I see every week with working at the bar and whatnot. We were kind of talking about it, and the definition of sexual harassment has definitely changed a lot. I think ever since the start of the Me Too movement and all that. So for an old guy like him, things that he would do would not be seen as sexual harassment. You know what I'm saying? In the normal sense of sexual harassment, especially growing up. You know what I'm saying? But now there's certain things like I've heard that, what is this one I heard? I've heard that asking I don't know if I get this right, asking a woman to smile is considered sexual harassment now also, which I still don't understand, but I'm trying to understand what I'm almost kind of like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess the basis is you're trying confused. To get them to be more
just a smile, you know,
more
like,
pleasurable, and it's like it's not your business to make sure she's more pleasurable for everyone else. So I guess that's where it is. I don't see it as
I don't know
sexual, but I see it as harassment for sure.
Right. So like on me, I'm just kind of like, what? Like I've heard it multiple times, and I've heard something like with women where I've heard, you know, about this thing about, you know, a man asking someone to smile because they see you having a mad face or looking sad, or, you know, you see that emotion being portrayed by that woman, and, you know, you might see somebody like, do you know how many times I've been told, like, yo, Thad, put a smile on your face, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you look so sad? Smile. You know, whatever. So I never once thought, I just thought that, you know, even hearing this situation, like, oh, well, maybe this guy or even this woman, just, you portrayed a certain emotion on your face, and someone's like, you know, because, you know, there's happy people all over this fucking world just randomly, and you see somebody that looks sad, like, oh, hey, smile, you know, smile. It's a good day today. It's a sunny day today. Smile. Enjoy it. Blah blah blah. But not realizing that could be portrayed as harassment or even sexual harassment. So it's just all confusing to me, and I kind of like want to hear the perspective of someone that feels that way, and to actually get a clear understanding or even opinion of theirs when it comes to that, because many times I've heard someone try to explain it. It's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's literally all over the place where it comes. And I'm like, I'm so confused right now. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird. It's just so something I want to understand, but have someone give it to me that could actually explain it clearly and concisely. You know what I'm saying? Not just all over the place jumbles. And I'm so confused by it, bro.
And for the record, I believe the situation with we know the situation with Cuomo was more than the smiles.
Yeah, by far. No. I'm just giving one example.
Yeah.
What has been called, sexual harassment today.
Yes,
because I know 10 years ago we would have never. I don't even think that was talked about 10 years ago. Of like for example, someone telling someone to smile, being that. But some of the stuff he was doing, and like you hear the story and you're kind of like, I could see him do that.
Yeah, and it's more like, how did you get this far? Like groping, touching, kissing, like massaging, like come on, like dude.
It's just, I don't know, man.
He had to go, and I know. For the Democratic Party,
he wasn't going to.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't going to until things got real hot.
Right. His own report, his own investigative thing into this is like, oh man, I should have probably never told him to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to resign.
Yeah, it's for the Democratic Party. I know it's a blow. Because he was someone that they looked at as possibly running in a future election. I don't know how, or maybe he just looks old. I don't know how. Do you know how old he is?
No, he looks pretty old. I don't.
Yeah, because we're talking about potentially.
I don't think he's as old as Biden.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I could be wrong.
But we're talking about Biden now 7 years from now too, like or Cuomo 7 years from now running.
You sure it's 7 years from now?
Oh, it could be 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's not jump the gun here. Let's not jump the gun. We do have to go through another election.
I don't have a problem if we just get a whole other set of candidates. That's how I feel about my politics. Like we don't have to just because your candidate won. You gotta have them there for 8 years. Like, right. Like if they ain't doing what I think they should do, then get somebody else in here. Talking about Biden though, got his bipartisan bill passed for the infrastructure, infrastructure for the country that will deal with repairs of roads and bridges and the transit system. Also introducing more electric charging stations. Also the electrical grid.
Stuff like that. Electrical grid, all that.
Mm-hmm. What was the other things then?
High-speed train technology.
Yeah. We need a high-speed train. My goodness, man. We need.
I just don't... Look. I was thinking about this the other day. I just don't understand how we, as the United States of America, in 2021, right? We're in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, look, I gotta tell you a story about that, but I'll leave that out for it because everybody be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" But how are we in 2021, and we don't have even a semblance of a high-speed train here?
Perfect.
And the rest of the world has had high-speed trains for at least 20 years.
Yeah, man.
We seen it. Look, dog. We seen it in the Mission Impossible movie. You know what I'm saying? We already seen that. The first one. We already seen that. So how are we so behind that we don't have that? At least going through. Let's say. I mean, I understand it'll take a little bit longer between the East Coast because we're so jumbled here in the East
and that's
Coast.
The problem. They let these cities just blow up before actually getting things in order. And now you're going to have a lot of eminent domain. You're going to be like, yo, we just got to take out whole cities just to get this off.
Here you go. Here's the two major things here in the DMV. The purple line. Perfect. Is that the purple?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the purple line.
What's happening with that?
That can't even get done. You know what I'm saying? Three things, actually. The purple line, the ICC, which was 10 years way too late, and doesn't even go as far as it should have gone. It should have gone all the way to New Carrollton metro area. Perfect. Well, the 50. It should have got to 50, but that didn't happen. And then 495. We can't even widen 495 because we have houses right up to the highway. where it should be at least 5-6 lanes by now.
Here's another one: the streetcars that only go on 8th Street should have
Right.
the money that was proposed should have gone from 8th Street to Georgetown, and it still is literally 8th Street, like DC.
Right,
Like,
that's terrible. We're
oh, America.
so behind, bro. So behind.
And everyone tries to say we are the greatest country in the world. You better be patriotic and da 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 da. Come on.
Like everybody else is ahead of us right now.
We number one in sports and the military. That's it. That's it. It's nothing else that we're number one in. Sports and the military.
Except soccer. Only certain sports.
Yeah.
Let's go certain sports. Certain sports. Certain sports. Basketball. We're number one in basketball and American football.
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. But yeah, so that bill went through. COVID-19.
Who cares?
Numbers are going through the roof.
Who cares
again.
about COVID-19 anymore?
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my part. If everybody else isn't doing their part, it's up to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it at this point now. We got this damn Delta variant, which we've known about for months because it's been in Europe for months. And that's why they had their second lockdown. And that's why they had their big protests and everything, because their second lockdown was on. And we hadn't even really finished our first lockdown. And they're protesting because Europe wanted to extend the second lockdown. So that's why they had their protests all over the country. And they had the Delta variant for that second protest area lockdown. And now it's here. And we're just like, we can't lock down.
No, we've committed to everything opening. We already opened. We can't shut down even for a few weeks.
We can't do it. We literally can't do it because the first lockdown was so terrible to business and economy. So, yeah, at this point, I'm like, yo, I'm doing my part. I'm vaccinated. I do what I have to do to make sure that I'm healthy and those around me are healthy. And if you feel you can't do that, at least if you feel you can't at least do something to protect yourself, and I'm not saying you have to get the vaccine. I'm just saying you just need, if you can't be a good citizen and do something to protect yourself and everyone else around you, then I could give two shits what happens to you when it comes to this Delta joint. And that's me keeping it 100.
To be honest, man, if you look, like you said, if you can't or you refuse this specific vaccine, you just gotta stay home, man. Don't be coming out in these streets. Don't be coming out, trying to, socialize with people. I bet you if we do a Venn diagram of those who were unvaccinated and those who were out in the streets even at the height of the pandemic,
right,
they don't just overlap. They just totally boom. Y'all the same group.
Right.
Same group. And this is part of the reason we have the issue that's happening right now. We have hospitals that are getting at the capacity now. Children hospitals are getting over capacity. They even had a child that had to be medevaced from Houston to another hospital that wasn't in Houston because the child had COVID. It was a 1-year-old. We're now seeing 1-year-olds consistently getting it. And those are the ones that can't be vaccinated at this point. Those are the ones we got to really protect. Schools in session in the South. You got some places talking about, we're not going to mask up when we're in school. Parents talking about it's my right to tell my children if they need to put a mask on. And honestly, I heard from somebody who said, look, it was their teenage son that was basically told them, look, it's getting wild. I'm going back into school. I need to get this vaccine. You might not want it, but I need to get it. And,
right.
Oh man, it's getting crazy. Mississippi they're saying their hospitals are they're at a crisis right now.
Right.
Where it's almost like if you have something else, you better go to another state because we can't even check it. You have a heart attack, you might die because we don't have room.
Right.
You have a stroke, you might be really messed up because we don't have room. And I saw someone posted something on my one of my friends on Facebook. They posted an article about a woman who did pass away who actually was vaccinated. And they believe this is the first person to be vaccinated and pass away. And they were kind of like, yo, so what's the point if you can die? And I'm like, well, mathematics, simple mathematics, like grade school mathematics tells you if she's the first one and we're still having unvaccinated people dying, then geez, like simple numbers would tell me like that is an anomaly. Right, Thad?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I know somebody that got COVID again this time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, had some of the similar symptoms from before, but never need to go to the hospital, nothing like that. Like, just had the sense of smell disappear. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. You can't smell something for a few days. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? But then had to go to the hospital, nothing like that. You know, and it was very, very slight symptoms, you know what I'm saying? And that was it, you know what I'm saying? Done. All because got the vaccine. But when you see these things on this level where it's like people that are vaccinated are getting COVID, which is fine. Because guess what? Just like the flu, we get the flu. We get the flu every year, folks. When you get your flu shot, and it's flu season, you get the flu. You just don't get the symptoms most of the time. Or the symptoms don't hit you as hard. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all what these vaccines are doing. Just lowering the symptoms because you are going to get it regardless. And you can still transmit certain things. It's happened. That's normal way of life. That's why things happen normally. Now, if you want to say we all have gotten the vaccine as a full country, whatever, we would still get COVID. Because guess what, folks? This is not the first time COVID's been around. Everybody, I think people are still on this whole tip that COVID is a brand new thing. You know what I'm saying? I honestly think that. And it's I don't know. I don't know if it's just the intelligence of this country or what, or if it's just the times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's so weird to me. But let's move on to the next joint, son, because you know we got to talk about this.
We didn't get to talk about this last week. The Lox versus Dipset. Now, Thad.
Yo.
Before the verses.
Yeah.
What was your prediction?
My prediction was Lox all day. Dipset never had a chance.
So you're saying Dipset never had a chance?
Never had a chance. If you honestly really think of Dipset, they never had a chance, yo. You literally have Hey Ma and what's the other joint?
Dipset Anthem.
I think Hey Ma and that joint.
Dipset Anthem.
Yeah. Then of course, I mean, if you go solo wise, there's Horse and Carriage for Cameron and Mace. And,
It Means the World.
You know what I'm saying? They had a couple
Oh Boy.
tracks. Oh Boy, a couple tracks.
Yeah.
But when it came to the Lox, it's just straight fire. Like consistently straight fire.
I'll say this. This was my prediction. Because I know how the versus format goes, I was like, I actually do believe Dipset had a chance. Because when you look at the original format of versus and you think about, okay, Dipset Lox, we're only looking at songs where it's Dipset versus the Lox. And I was like, they got a chance. But once things opened up to, we're about to do solo careers too, and that's what it ultimately ended up being, where it was solo careers, and I was like, well, hold on, Jadakiss is killing all of y'all for real when it comes to solo.
Not just solo careers, we're talking mixtapes and freestyles and everything.
And it was a massacre at Madison Square Garden.
Straight massacre.
The funniest part to me was when when Jada said, "Yo, do we got hits for the women?" And then he started naming all the hits that were for the women.
Joel's opened his mouth way too quickly.
Also, what was Joel's wearing?
I have no idea.
He had so many brands on.
I thought it was a homeless man at first, and then I realized it was Joel's. I'm like,
he had so many brands on. He had the Louis do-rag.
Dog. He had like what, 3 or 4 do-rags on at once, and
Jim Jones got a chain. Got a chain brought to him on stage.
Yeah.
Cameron had a pool chair.
Yeah.
It was sitting on there. And then also all the hanger-ons decided to get on stage to the point that they were like, "Yo, y'all got to get off the stage, or we just canceling this, like, or it's over." Like it was the fire marshal saying, "You got to get off of the stage," and it took 10 minutes.
Of course.
To get all the hanger-ons off the stage.
Of course.
Like, y'all aren't part of the group. Just chill.
That's New York. It's the whole it's the most New York thing you could ever have. It was a very the entourage. The rapper entourage. The New York rapper entourage. That's it right there.
Yeah, it was a very New York event, but New York as a whole, as a city, is very overrated.
Perfect.
Very overrated, but
wow, wow.
It's an overrated city.
Don't let
Don't
let them hear you say that.
I mean, I've said it numerous times on this podcast. It is an overrated city. It's okay. It's extremely dirty. New York fashion really ain't cool.
Oh man,
it really isn't cool. And when people realize that as they've gotten older, they're like, yeah, we're not going to follow. Like, New York fashion was the early 2000s. That was New York fashion. The worst fashion era ever.
Wow. What happened to you?
It really is. Think about it, Thad.
Who pissed in your cereal this morning?
Think about it. The worst fashion era was like prototypical New York. And they still wear it. Averex bubble jackets, Averex jackets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Tim's oversized jeans. Like, come on.
Of course.
Fitteds that are so big that they come down to here. Like, that is so early 2000s. This is 2021 now.
It's
like,
New York.
Why are we?
It's New York fashion.
Yeah, and it's a trash fashion too.
But we do. The funny thing is, we do the same thing down here.
No, we initially followed, but now
we definitely followed for sure.
Now, as you were just like, you know what?
We still got the Nike
DMV
boots.
got our own Nike boots. Is ours.
We still got the Nike boots. That's what I'm saying. We still got the Nike boots.
Yeah, but it's better than Tim's.
I don't know, bro.
It's better than Tim's. Nike boots can kind of go with a lot of things. Tim's do not go with everything. Like there's people who could go to church in Nike boots and you wouldn't know. There's people who go to work. Think about all those Metro Transit people. That's all they wear, Nike boots. Like police officers, Nike boots. Firefighters, Nike boots. You be in the hospital, Nike boots. Like I said, you can go to church. If you there's some Nike boots. You need to shovel some snow. You can still use Nike boots.
Man, you could go to church in some Timbs, man.
Oh,
I'm not talking about the butters. You know what I'm saying? Got the tan joints.
But New York is butters. They ain't wearing.
Yeah, it's all butters.
Cinnamon Timbs. What?
Right. No, I got you.
Oh man, but yeah, it's the worst. Like they always hype up. The pizza's overrated.
Leave the boroughs alone, man.
Lido's is better than any New York pizza out there.
Perfect.
Chicago thin crust is better than any New York pizza out there.
Perfect.
Deep dish is better than any New York pizza out there. Come on, man.
Damn. Yo,
that was a little hyperbolic, but
bro, they're gonna come for you. Yo.
Overall,
yeah.
Obviously the best New York pizza is really damn good. But if you're just talking about the average New York pizza, come on. Thin crust is better.
We got jumbo slice from them.
Yeah, we got a better jumbo slice here. We got jumbo slices, pretty much 4 slices in one. Still $5, $5 or $6. Come on, man. Come on. Donda, Kanye West's album.
Did it even come out?
I think it's the 15th now at this point.
Come on, bro. Like how you gonna have 2 release parties, bro? 2 release parties.
I mean, the second one was. Look,
I didn't even see the first one.
So I saw the first and parts of the second. And the parts where I saw where the songs that I listened to on the first one and the second one, you could tell, okay, he made changes to the song. Like, it definitely sounds a little better.
So why are you having release parties?
Well, it's listening
Why don't you
parties.
have a listening party? Like, okay, but you had people paying $50 for a hot dog?
Now so this is the thing.
What is going on here?
So this is the weird thing, because Mercedes-Benz Stadium is known to be the best venue for concession. Like their food is the cheapest in the country.
Right.
Like you can get a hot dog for $2. You get a drink for $1. Popcorn, I think, was $1.
They got Chick-fil-A there.
Chick-fil-A is there, but it's not open on Sundays.
I know, so weird.
But whenever any other event is there, Chick-fil-A is there, and it's at the regular Chick-fil-A price. But for this event, like you said, they were like $50 hot dogs. I don't know if it's something that maybe Kanye controlled the concession. And remember,
it had to be.
Kanye is renting out the stadium.
Yeah, it had to be.
So maybe that's why he was able to put his own prices. And to be honest, you got to be a clown to pay for a $50 hot dog.
Big facts.
Perfect.
So like the price could be what it is, but you got to be a clown.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
But look,
But
Kanye looked like he died.
But see, the thing is, you had a release party, not a listening party. You literally called them both release parties.
I guess so.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
the first one for sure was a listening party.
That's ridiculous.
The second one, you're right. It did actually say release party, and people thought it was coming out at midnight, and then it was like, nah, it ain't coming out at midnight. I ain't ready.
But I guess with the new, everything's streaming now and all that, I guess you could do it that way now, because back in the day it was you had a release party, whatever, and then midnight they were already at the stores. It was just midnight was when they were allowed to start selling it and put it on the shelves. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like, okay, I could just put it out. I could put anything out now. Just gotta tell Apple I want to do it on this date. Yeah, show up in Apple Music or what, iTunes. Yeah. So
yeah, man, I think we might have the old Kanye back. We might.
Man, you too young for what old Kanye?
Whoa, how am I too young? He came out when I was in high school.
What Kanye you're talking about here?
We talking about
you talking college dropout Kanye, or you?
No, we'll never get college dropout Kanye. We might. This might be more like 801, 808 and Heartbreak and
him
Dark
singing
Twisted.
Oh,
nah, he still raps,
again?
so he still has rap. But my Dark Twisted Fantasy, like that Kanye. It's not the Yay Kanye.
Yeah, okay.
It's not that. That Kanye was the worst of the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right.
And just like that, just when we're about to transition, our guest steps away. So now we got to continue talking.
I didn't know if he was actually here or because I'm in the other joint, so I didn't even notice.
So yeah, other news outside of sports. Did you hear about? Did you ever watch Love Is Blind?
No, I don't even. No.
Okay. This is what we got to do. We got to do some homework, and I know you work. Oh, and you're also in school.
No, I'm good. I don't start school until October. So.
Okay. I thought you.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, we got to talk because we got to figure this out.
Well, see, all right. So
we're coming up on big times, man.
Yes, big times. But talking about that, I did speak to one of the advisors, and they were like, "Well, we're not really sure what's happening now because of the Delta variant. It might be virtual, and
it don't matter. No. Well, see, that's the thing. We don't have to decide that because we look. This is the thing you gotta realize, and I meant to tell you this before. Mm-hmm. So. I told you about us applying for graduation and all that.
Yeah.
So, regardless of them walking in December or not, you still graduate in December.
Well, yeah, it gets conferred.
It gets conferred. So the walking is not an issue.
Yeah, I want to walk.
Yeah, if we walk in May, we walk in May. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we just got to make a decision if we're going to do this or not. So if you confirm it, you know what I'm saying?
At this point, it looks like that's what's going to be. Yeah, we don't know what's happening with this.
All right, just as long as we're on the same page of conferring for December, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm done in December.
I already told work that I'm confirmed for December. So
yep. All right, let's now get to our feature presentation. Let's introduce my boy, Dr. Joshua Benjamin Browne.
Whoa.
What's going on, my man?
Throwing out a lot is going on, and ain't shit going on.
When you get a doctorate, you gotta promote that. Come on, dog. No matter what's going on.
You done put my government, you done put my suffixes out here. You know what I'm saying? I just hope and pray that ain't nobody listening on these lines.
True.
What's going on with you, my man?
Nothing much, man. I'm just out here, been working on my nonprofit, Golden Teachers. Golden Teachers is a nonprofit that's built off of art, and it's that's how we're going to spread our message through art and let it trickle down to the youth and do what we can. It's called Golden Teachers Life and Hand. Are we still there?
Yep, I hear you.
You good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, man. I am in an undisclosed location, as they say. The weather is nice where I am. There are no fires here that I could see, at least. And I'm well taken care of. So other than that, ain't been much. I've been catching y'all show weekly, except for last week when you didn't have the show because you wanted to watch your punk ass team play. I assume
definitely not the reason why. Definitely not the reason why. But
I don't know what the real reason was, but that's my reason.
I had to take care of a child. That was the real reason.
That's what he's saying.
Had to take care of a child. Anyways, Golden Teachers. What you mentioned what it is, but how did you come? What made you come up with this organization?
So when I was getting to the end of my tenure in medicine, I started to look outside of the realm of what I was working in and see kind of like where my talents could fit in. So I started to think like, I could work in nonprofit. It's a good transition. So I started like speaking that out loud while I was still at work. I would go to work, do my work in like 2 hours, and then
seems like we may have lost them.
I was doing that for like 2 months while I'm working on this idea in my head. I hadn't had the name yet.
Okay.
We there?
All right, we hear you now.
Yeah, we're here.
My bad. It's the undisclosed location.
I got you.
But yeah. So basically, it was coming at the end of my tenure in medicine. I wanted to transition into nonprofit. So after my last weekend at work, I went down to Maryland from Philly, visited my uncle. We're in the car going to Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, yo, Uncle Harvey, I'm really thinking about transition. I'm leaving medicine, first of all. He's like, good, boy. I don't know why the hell you would be in residency anyway. That's for slaves. You're right. Okay. So he's like, you want to transition into nonprofit? I got a nonprofit you can have. So where did this nonprofit come from? It came from my grandmother, who is one of 16 children with the last name Holland. There's a lot of them, and a lot of them did a lot of good things. My grandmother, she started this nonprofit in 2003, the year that I graduated from high school. Mm-hmm. And so she kept it active, and it just so happened that it's still active at a time that I needed it. And so here we are. You know what I'm saying? I'm using that as the platform to reach the communities that I want to reach, and that's kind of how it came to pass. The first event I did was on November 19th in Goldvein, Virginia of 2020. We had a Golden Teachers meet and greet. Jeremy was invited. He did not attend BigThad. And BigThad, if there is another one, you will be invited.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It might, because sometimes, you just can't count on people. But anyways, so we had this event, you know what I'm saying? That was the first event. The second event we had was just last month in the undisclosed location. Okay. Which BigThad, you will also be invited to. And this other person will not be. But yeah, long story short, my grandmother had a nonprofit. It got passed to me, and I was endowed with a lot of talents, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of degrees. So I'm gonna put them to use somehow.
Now, what are some of, you mentioned that it's reaching the youth through art. What are some of the things that some of the aspects of art that you'll be using to help outreach to the youth?
Yeah, so my thing is I went to Montessori school, so I start everything with concept-based learning. So when I get children into my realm, into my surroundings where I'm in the teaching mode or I've prepared something, it's always with concepts in mind and not solo information. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the concept is that I would have the group of golden teachers, the professionals would come together to put on seminars for these children to come. This will be, for example, one way we will reach the children through the art. So we would have this group of artists, and for say, we have another meet and greet at a ranch on 70 acres. So we have the ranch for a week, for instance, and we have a workshop where children come. The professionals are there to give their time and services to the children, and it comes through the nonprofit. You have funding, and so you as a professional that's coming to teach AV or production, you would have a day where you would talk. Sorry, the undisclosed location again. You would have a day where you would come and present. And that would be your day. You would be paid through the nonprofit, and the children would be there to absorb what you have to share with them. That would be one example. With art specifically, Golden Teachers is an umbrella, and everyone who comes in contact with it, including the children, are encouraged just to create. And you can call it whatever you want, but as humans, we just call it art. And it's really just an umbrella, a safe haven for people to create and feel comfortable to be themselves.
Before we move on to some other topics, where can people who are interested in your organization, those who are trying to support, those who are trying to be part of it, where can they reach you?
So they can reach me at goldenteachers@gmail.com, and it's GLDN TCHRS @gmail.com. The website is under construction currently. It will soon be up, and there will be an announcement made when it's up. And it's GLDN TCHRS.gold, not com. Okay. It's golden. Okay. Yeah, so we're trying to, in Spanish, it's called oro. Jeremy, I don't know if you knew that.
No. So, yeah. So you can be reached at Golden.
You see how I get them, Dad? You see how I get them?
You can be reached at Golden Teachers without any vowels, y'all. Without any vowels.
No
Golden
vowels.
Teachers without vowels at gmail.com. Obviously, this is a feature of your organization, but we do have to get into some sports, man. You hit me up and you were like, yo, I'm disgusted with this man, Chris Paul. Let the viewers and listeners know why you're disgusted with Chris Paul.
What? Who isn't disgusted with motherfucking Chris Paul? Nobody like Chris Paul but LeBron James. That's because he makes some money. So I'm currently annoyed with Chris Paul because this guy, this little snake, let's see what he did. A few years ago, let's say 5 or 6, he was probably 30 years old. and he says, "Okay, I want to be VP of the Players Union." Usually the VP is like fucking Doug Christie or somebody like.
Right.
Since when is a top 5 point guard in the league going to take on that extra job? Oh, but him and little LeBron, Big Browne, they had a plan. You know what I'm saying? They in each other's pockets. And so he took the job and put in the CBA that you could get paid this super max way late into your contract. Like, who's paying a 40-year-old $40 million? That's ridiculous. It's only because of the deal he negotiated. And what happens? Signs the deal. What's it, 3 or 4 years?
4 years.
4 years, yep.
Oh, so he gets 4 more years, and he is no longer the president of the union.
Mm-hmm.
What a little punk ass. Yo, if I was a young dude, I would be in this man's pockets. Like, bro, there's no reason. I mean, okay, I will say that the young dudes they do have the rookie supermax, right? So, so Shy got paid, and White Boy got paid.
Luka and Trey.
And Nazi Dallas, yeah. Trey got paid with the he got the hair like the lollipop. You know how they be doing on the internet. And but still, it's an old, that CBA is built for older players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's just a punk. That's all.
Man,
Big Dad, what you think? What you think about Chris Paul in his older age?
I'm very surprised he got that contract. Real talk. I think he has maybe a year, maybe 2 left in him. And I'm surprised they gave him that 4 and that much money. You know, I was just like, oh. But I mean, like you said, he definitely played. He definitely played that. He made that happen for sure. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these older players, they're still good enough to get some of these contracts, but yeah, he definitely made sure that he got the bag before he leaves.
For sure. Josh, you are a huge, or I don't know, let me know. You're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. What's your aspects, or what's your prospects for this coming season?
Man, I have to say, I am a fan of the city, but them damn Steelers, I don't know what to say. I don't have nothing to say about them. And you know, I cannot support the rapists, man. I just cannot support. Like, hit me again.
Perfect. There you go.
Thank you. Come on. Be on the butt. But yeah, I just can't. The NFL is way too racist, and Pittsburgh is very racist. That's why they're one of the OGs. That's why we got so many Super Bowls, because we listen to the commissioner. And you know what I'm saying? But I will say that I haven't really been keeping up with the Steelers, to be honest, or the NFL. I've kind of shunned the NFL. But tell me about the Cowboys. Because I do.
I believe they're going to win the division, but it's going to be close. It's going to be them, Washington, one game in between, or it might be tiebreaker will ultimately go in the Cowboys' favor. Hopefully we could just win a playoff game. If we win a playoff game, that's success for this season, because it's not just about this season, it's about the future. That's what I'll say about the Dallas Cowboys. Luka versus Trey. You know, that was the conversation a few seasons ago during the draft. And we see that Luka was ultimately drafted by Atlanta, Trey by Dallas. They make the trade on draft day. So far, though, Trae Young has made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 overall pick, was selected or made it to the NBA Finals as, you could say, the 3rd best player on his team with the help of Chris Paul and ultimately Devin Booker. Luka, though, is in Dallas and has put up monster numbers, hasn't made it out of the first round yet. What do you have to say about Luka's career so far, and where do you think it's going to go, and ultimately how do you think his career will end? So, starting with the comparison, I think
it's a perfect example of why everyone should just shut the fuck up sometimes, because people be way too quick to criticize trades when you're drafting teenagers. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes got drafted at like Trae Young played 30 games in high school. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in college. And so like, you can't judge him. There's no way you can judge that trade that early. Now we're starting to see what type of players they're really going to be. Trae Young, it's going to take him a few years to figure out how to score at the rate he was scoring in college. Luka is obviously was playing pro ball. He's going to translate quicker, but now you're starting to see people are catching up with his game because he can't fucking shoot. And he's bigger than everybody. So he gets buckets, and the NBA is made for whoever's on ball to get buckets. But the holes in his game are starting to show, like after year 3, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you see regression. And they signed Porzingis, and he ain't worth shit, so it's not helping. They also have people like Tim Hardaway Jr. around him, whose mindset is like, he might as well be King Combs. He's just a rich kid. I don't even think he likes basketball. So, like, he's not helping nobody. And Luka is spoiled because he's been propped up on a world stage since he was a teenager. So he has adversity. And you see when Trae, had adversity at first, he kind of came through it. He was only winning, 20 games at first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they built through the draft and with smart moves like getting Capella, and that's how. And he was able to progress. It just took him a little bit longer because of the game he plays and because he's built like me, but it was like 4 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? He's like a regular guy playing amongst giants. And so I think that Luka will definitely get to a conference finals at some point because Mark Cuban loves him a white superstar. And they're going to make sure that he's going to spend money. That's not going to be the problem. So, but I think that Trae will end up having a better career because I think Trae's going to get it however he has to. He'll adjust. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be more flexible with his mindset and his game. And Luka does not seem to be that flexible with his mindset and his game.
The Los Angeles Lakers, they made all the acquisitions last week. The Brooklyn Nets, they are the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the league, top 2 for sure, maybe number 1 depending on where you have him. They're going to bring back Harden and Irving, but they also signed Patty Mills. Do you think it's just a crash course to Nets Lakers in the NBA Finals, or will there be a dark horse that spoils the party?
I think that the way things are going is always going to be unpredictable. To answer the question, I do think they're on a crash course. To add to that, those are like 2 of the worst constructed teams I've ever seen. They're just so talented, it might not matter, but I think they're built now to endure the injuries that fucked them both up last year. So they've added pieces where, like, usually I'm sure Kyrie would not want to have Patty Mills as his backup. Never in a million years, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure they came to Kyrie and was like, look, MF, your ass is always hurt. And this is the reason why we couldn't, ascend this year. If they had Patty Mills this year, they might have been able to progress possibly. But I think that now they're building against those injuries. They just getting whoever the fuck that people don't even fit. Like, you know what I'm saying? From the big stars down to the people who are going to be supporting role players. So I think that they're going to make sure they make it back this year. There's no way that Brooklyn is going to go 2 years and not get back and not get there. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for Browne. He ain't got time to be playing. He's trying to get his son in the league, hoop with that little nigga, and in the meantime, at least get one more. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, we spoke about him earlier.
My bad. I know I'm late in the show, but
no, you
golly,
good,
boy. Ooh, BigThad. How many M's is that?
Jeez. Before we go, let everyone know where they can reach you if they're interested in Golden Teachers.
So yeah, if you're interested in Golden Teachers, the IG is Golden Teachers with no vowels, so GLDN TCHRS on IG. If you type in Golden Teachers, the words, it will come up. in the search bar. That's the IG. The email is GLDN TCHRS@gmail.com. And the website is the same, Golden Teachers without the vowels, .gold, not .com. GoldenTeachers.gold. Because vowels cost money.
Say that again. Vowels cost money?
Yeah, like right. on the game. What's the game?
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
yes.
The vowels cost money.
Yep. Yes, you're definitely right about that.
Anyway.
Definitely right about.
But yeah, that's where you can reach me, and there will definitely be a lot of content on the website coming, and a lot of apparel and clothing actually coming on the IG soon as well. Okay.
All right. Well, Dr. Joshua Browne, thank you for coming on. Next time we'll have you on to talk about some more sports specifically. Greatly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and coming on the podcast. Any last words?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm always down to pull up, and I appreciate y'all having me.
No problem. Shout out to you, and I'll hit you up later.
Yeah. I'll definitely
please do
look into that invite. Because
I'll
actually accept it. I'll accept it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see we'll see what our friend here decides.
We'll see. We'll see. It's always a crapshoot.
That's right.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. See y'all.
That is Dr. Joshua Browne of Golden Teachers.
That's dope.
Make sure you go check out the work that he is trying to do. Let's now get to our wrap up the show here. Big Thad, anything happened in the sports world while we were recording?
Washington is up now 7-6.
Okay.
Just started the third quarter.
Do you know who
Eagles
scored that touchdown?
Peyton Barber.
All right.
Yeah. But Eagles are up. Well, just changed it, but Eagles were up 16-7, but they're now up 16-13. White Sox are beating the Yankees in the Field of Dreams game right now.
The Field of Dreams game. Explain that though for people. What's the Field of Dreams game?
Bruh, if they don't know about the Field of Dreams.
No, just explain it. Explain it.
Oh, it's based off of a movie with Kevin Costner, baseball movie, and it's the Field of Dreams. His father, Kevin Costner's father, was a baseball player, minor leaguer, and he has a farm, and he was always hearing this in the cornfield about if you build it, he will come. Mm-hmm. If you build it, he will come.
If you build it, they will come.
You know what I'm saying? So he built the baseball field at his, and the outfield goes into a cornfield. Mm-hmm. And and eventually his father appears. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real emotional, sentimental type thing, movie, a baseball movie, baseball classic movie for sure. And the MLB decided to do a baseball game at that same field that was in the movie. Mm-hmm. So they did a big thing about it, and it happens. It's going on right now. So shout out to the MLB for that.
Yep. By the way, I never saw the movie, but yeah, I kind of
come on, bruh.
I kind of know the premise.
See, how you not see these classics?
Because
you know what
it just seems classics. Like your synopsis seems kind of whack.
oh, we going there now? What?
So I'm just like, what? Maybe you didn't understand the movie thing.
This is your Inception. This is your Inception movie. Your Inception synopsis.
Maybe Thad didn't understand Field of Dreams. I don't know.
Killing me. Oh my Lord! Wow.
No man! Shout out to OSS 980. We're Harold D. Aaron. Shout out to Soggy Nacho. Shut your face. 4th and 13 podcast. Shout out to Karita Parks of Parks PR, Girls in Sports, Erica Fernandez, also the Triple Dub podcast. Also, Guys Unpacked with Rich. Check them out. Whoa.
Oh, she was one of them in the what's this joint? The joint out the
Well, there's Karita, there's Becca, there's
Becca.
Bree,
Shout out to Becca,
okay,
yo.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Becca. Shout out to Becca. Yo.
Okay, all right. Yes. So also shout out to our faithful listeners. Thank you to Dr. Joshua Browne for coming on the podcast.
Put his whole
this week.
government.
Make sure you go and check out Golden Teachers.
Yeah, definitely.
On IG, and I'm gonna put it back up so you all can see on IG. Golden Teachers, check them out. Support a Black-owned non-profit organization. Big Thad, any parting words?
Shout out to our cousins. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our friends. And hey, if you can, get vaccinated. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just stay away from me. That's all.
And stay home.
Yeah.
Be out in these streets.
Right. Don't try to go to work because they're gonna tell you that you need to be vaccinated. So yeah.
Until next time, everyone. The Sports Reality. Peace.
Peace.